What's going on, Internet? Iron Jordan here. So today we're on Tier Maker to make a tier list of all the new Set 14 leaders. Now, before we do this, we're going to chill for a little bit. We're going to tab on over to TCG Player. We're going to take a look at MetaMonster Gaming's TCG Player store. Now, if you want to take a look at this like I am right now, you can click the link in the description of the video. It'll take you to their storefront, and you can shop exclusively from them. As you can see, they have Dragon Ball Super, Pokemon, and Digimon card game cards. Also, I talked to the owner yesterday, and he is working on getting Yu-Gi-Oh stock on this store. As you can see, for the most part, they are under TCG Player market price. But if you want more off your order, you can enter the code IronJordan5 at checkout to get 5% off. Let's head back to the video real quick. So, we did this for set 11, and mixed results. For the most part, I put most of the leaders where they needed to be, with the exception of Dark Broly. I pretty famously said I would eat a sock if Dark Broly ended up being tier 1. And to my credit, he was pretty not the best when he first came out. Deck was very difficult to play. Nobody was really topping with it. But it had potential. So it definitely, I was wrong about it at first, but it wasn't tier 1 at first. It wasn't until it started getting a bunch of, 30k black card support that the deck became the tier 1 super threat that it, eventually became. However, I also did not eat that sock, and that is because I later found out that eating a sock will just straight up kill you. So, yeah, not doing that. But without further ado, let's talk about the leaders well, I had them in rugby order. We're going to go in rugby order anyway. Starting with Gohan. I think Gohan's tier 2. I think he's pretty good. Lots of people are sleeping on Gohan. I think that they're seeing that he doesn't draw cards. He doesn't go plus very easily. Ignoring the fact that he really prevents you from losing a lot of hand advantage. When you combo with a super combo, it's going to get an additional draw, once per turn. And you're going to be able to keep the hand advantage that you draw natively, draw for turn, taking life, stuff like that. On top of that, he has a alternate awakening condition, where he's going to awaken at 2 most times. On top of that, his Spirit Boost is not essential for the deck. You don't have to use his Spirit Boost skill to make the deck good. So the fact that he doesn't rely on the Spirit Boost, I think just makes him a lot better than some of these other leaders that we're going to talk about here in a second. Jiren. I think Jiren is right up there with Gohan. I think he's pretty good. I don't know how I feel about having to rely on the evolve cost to really do anything. He has an activate main. I don't know, man. I kind of want to throw this guy in tier 1 because I can see. Nah, he plays cards for free. He's doing a tier 1. I'm changing my mind on the spot. Tier 1, he plays cards for free by Self Awakening, which is very good. He gets an inherent power boost whenever you attack with Universe 11 cards, and he can evolve on your opponent's turn to disrupt their plays. One of the Jirens, ignores barrier and gives the card net 35k, which is pretty insane. So I'm going to put him in tier 1. I think he's the weakest of the tier 1s that we're going to talk about today, because I think there are 2 more. But yeah, I think Jiren's pretty good, so we're going to put him in tier 1. Alright, so obviously going off of rugby order, we'd go red, blue. So blue, Trunks, I think he's playable. He self-awakens because of the field spell that he starts out with. And the leader's pretty good. The problem with the leader is that, on the back side, he adds a card that's absolutely useless whenever the Unison dies, because you have to pay for it because the Unison died. I think the leader itself is pretty good. I just think his support cards kind of suck. Hirudegarn, tier 2, straight up. This leader is pretty good. It's got a lot of support from, back in the day, from both the draft bots and from set 4. It self-awakens, it fits its hand, it draws additional cards on the backside. I just think this leader's pretty good. Out of all the tier 2 leaders, I think this is the one that has the most potential to creep into tier 1. I think Hirudegarn's a deck to keep your eye on. Super 17, I think he also goes in tier 2, just squarely. We completely went out of rugby order, but that's totally fine because the website reshuffled my guys. This video is already a mess. Thanks for sticking with it. Super 17, I think he's really good. The ability to, again, he cycles, kind of like the way that Hirudegarn does, and the way that Goku will do as well. But this leader brings back Union Absorb in a big way, and I think it's good. I just think it might be a little too fair to be tier 1, but I think you'll be able to win some games and win some locals with this deck for sure. Videl, tier 2. The thing with Videl is that, man, she just I don't know, man. Like I really think 5K, 10K leaders need to be incredibly powerful. Like Launch, Hercule, even Bulma is a good leader at 5K, 10K. But Videl, unfortunately, really feels like she relies on the spirit boost, and maybe we'll see more whenever the leader comes out. And we actually get to playtest with this, because fair warning, this is the first deck I'm going to be building, because Videl is one of my favorite characters in Dragon Ball, and I really like Skillless as well. So I I just we'll see. Maybe she'll end up being very good, but I have my doubts. Uh, but yeah, tier 2, I want to put her higher, but tier 2, Goku, tier 1. This is probably the best leader in the set. He just does so much. He has a alternate awakening condition. He manipulates the top of his deck. He draws a bunch of cards. Like this is he even searches for a specific card on his bat side once per game. Like what what do you this leader has everything. He's probably the best leader in the set. I don't even think it's close. This is going to be a tier 1 threat. I don't see him being like mecha good, but he's like here. He's like here. He's a little bit better than tier 1, I think. But yeah, I think this leader is insane. I think a good pilot is just gonna crush everybody with this leader. He just does so much. Majin Buu, he's playable. I wanted to put him in near unplayable, but he's not. I just really don't like this leader. I think it's really nice that he self awakens and that he has a thing where he can steal people's cards, and maybe he'll be a little bit better than this. But like, I just don't know. I just think his engine's kind of clunky. Although I will say that 5 drop might push him to here by itself, or even here. I don't know. That 5 drop's insane, man. That's the thing, is that card, that Majin Buu. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, that Majin Buu is insane. But I'm gonna put him in playable because I don't know. I think he's just a little too convoluted, or maybe that's just me being small brain. Who knows? Sin Shenron, tier 1. I like this leader a lot. This leader's great. It is a control style that has not been seen in the Dragon Ball Super card game since Janemba. He also has blocker, which is dope. Um, yeah, man, this leader is just cool. This leader is great, and I think he's going to play very defensively. I think he's going to draw a bunch of cards, and I think he's just going to win games through attrition and through mill, which is really really nice. But yeah, this is my initial thoughts on how I think the leaders are going to be. I think Jiren is the weakest of the tier 1s. Like if I were to really stretch it out here, I think Jiren's the weakest of the tier 1s, and I think Videl's the weakest of the tier 2s. I think Hirudegarn's probably the strongest, with this being the order here, and then I think that this is probably the weakest order for the playable. I think the Trunks just I don't know, man. Like I just really don't like this leader and everything that the deck does. Let me know what you guys think about this. We're going to try to do this for every set from now on. It's a pretty quick little thing that we can do after we've looked at all of the cards and look at all of the leaders and everything. We are probably going to have a video where we're talking about the secret rares coming up, but I'm not too sure about that. Things have been kind of busy. So let me know what you guys want to see. I know that I've had a couple people talk about wanting to see test hands for DBS, and more people say they want test hands for Yu-Gi-Oh! And I can do that if you want. Just kind of explain combos and stuff and how things work. But yeah, let me know whatever you guys are really up for. Like I have 200 subscribers. I'm kind of at your mercy. So let me know if you like the video too. Leave a like. It helps the video a lot, and I appreciate you watching. Thank you. See you in the next one.